This month we have the new moon in Cancer, and it's going to be falling on the 25th, 26th of June. And this new moon is basically the start of the summer solstice. This is when the days are at their longest. The nights are a lot shorter at this time. And it's a time where people are starting to go on their summer holidays. It's more family, yeah? Cancer is all about family, and it's about nurturing, and that sort of motherly aspect. But we're going to dive into that today, what this new moon is all about, what this is a good time to start setting intentions for, and what this new moon brings, because there's a little bit to this one. So we'll go into that as well. And then we'll break it down for the 12 signs so that you can know what intentions you should be looking around setting about for each area of your life. If this is your first time here, my name is Jay. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm an astrologer and a business coach, and I'm here to help you build a Saturn-proof business, avoiding burnout, and building a business that actually feels good in your body. I like to align energy with the astrological energy, so if that sounds good, maybe consider subscribing. So in the last video, my cat Mallet made an appearance, and he got quite a lot of comments, and people were loving him. So I don't know if he's going to show up for this video, but I thought I would just put a few shots on the screen to let you see that he's all good. He's just chilling like his awesome wee self, and he's having a day of peace and quiet. He's not wanting to be on camera today. And yeah, let's just get into it. So like I said, we've got the Cancer new moon, 25th, 26th, depending on where you are in this world, in the world. And there is a bit to this one. So let's go into that bit a little bit first. The new moon is going to be happening at the 4 degrees mark of Cancer. This is a Cancer degree if you follow degree astrology. But the interesting thing is, Jupiter is at 3 degrees Cancer, which is in a tight conjunction. Yeah, if he was at 4, it would be an exact conjunction, but it's 3's pretty much good, yeah? It's still a conjunction. Now, Saturn and Neptune, Saturn is at 1 degrees Aries, and Neptune is at 2 degrees Aries. They're in a conjunction, and they are creating a square with Jupiter and the moon. So what this does is that this square will create tension. It will create that sort of, there might be some challenges around this, which makes me think when it's to do with a new moon, things are not as they seem, yeah, because things are dark. So I think there could be some things that you're maybe not setting the intentions that you want to set because you're getting stuck in your head, or you're getting stuck, or it doesn't, your emotions aren't feeling right about it, which means that it could take a little bit more emotional effort, I think, around this time. There could be stuff that's happened, or stuff that happens a bit closer to it, that there's just that little bit of tension. I think with it being Saturn in Aries, it's about tension around taking the action. Tension around the boundaries. Is there boundaries that are maybe stopping you do these things that you want to set these intentions around? Neptune might even give you them sort of ideological views, to make you want to romanticize these things. And Saturn's like, well, if you're going to do that, do it. Stop talking about it and just do it. Yeah? There could be tension, like maybe there's fear there, or there's some emotions that are getting in the road when this square is forming with the new moon, in my opinion. With Jupiter there though, Jupiter's about doing the right thing. Yeah, a lot of people focus on the good luck, good fortune, positive outlook, optimism, all that stuff, which is brilliant. And yes, Jupiter does bring that. But Jupiter's all about doing the right thing. Yeah. Saturn as well is about bringing boundary structure. There's a lot of stuff there when you bring boundary structure and doing the right thing together. It's about, maybe there's like ethics or morals involved here with what you need to do or what you're wanting to plan for. And during this time, I'd say there's that, maybe just that could be creating the tension. But it is about doing the right thing. It's about seeing the bigger picture. Yeah? Even if it's uncomfortable. You've got to step and rise out of that being stuck in the fear. Because when you rise above it and rise above the fear and do the work to get over the fear, that's when you start to see growth. And that's what Jupiter wants at the end of the day. And with it being such a tight conjunction with this moon, you are wanting to set intentions that lead to growth. I think the tension from Saturn and Neptune is maybe encouraging you to go for them bigger goals, but there's maybe just that little bit of, I'm not sure. Yeah, there's a little bit of fear. There's just a little bit of tension. The 4 degrees mark of Cancer is ruled by the 2 of Cups. So what did we have for Cancer? Cancer, we said, it's about home, it's about family, it's your sanctuary, your cozy place, that safe space. But one thing, as much as lovely as that sounds, one thing Cancer really focuses on is your inner security. Do you feel safe in that safe place? Do you feel safe in that sanctuary? Do you feel safe in your family? It's about the safety in that inner security. So when you're setting intentions, look at this. Am I feeling safe here? Do I feel safe? And it's not so much yet if you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, you're getting a little bit outside there, and you're going to be doing things that are maybe uncomfortable. That doesn't mean they're unsafe. Yeah. And it doesn't mean they're unsafe emotionally. Yeah, there might be fear there, but you do the work and go over the fear. Yeah. But with the 2 of Cups ruling this, oh, sorry, I was going on about Cancer. So it's nurturing. It's about having your family over for drinks, making sure they've got food, really, really socializing with your family, and being that mother. The one thing Cancer can be a little bit guilty is of a little being overbearing, a little bit overprotective. So just watch out for that. But I think with Cancer as well, it's about feeling needed. Yeah, you're wanting to set intentions that it's not relying on other people to feel needed. It makes you feel needed, and that will build your inner security if you feel that being there for yourself. Yeah, and like I said, safety and security. 2 of Cups is all about connection, mutual respect, love, relationships, and feelings, shared feelings. Yeah, it's known as the relationship card, the couples card. This, I would even say the soulmate card. So this whole new moon, the vibe I am getting when you tie all these things together, it's coming in together. It's deepening relationships. It's making your life, your business, feel like home. Your clients feel like family. Your family feels even closer. Yeah. And nowadays, there's so many different types of family. There's not like a standard box. It might not be your traditional family. You have that little group that's your family. And that's what we're talking about. It doesn't necessarily mean your biological family, depending on the situations there. But make your friends, your family, and make them feel like home. Your business, your clients. Yeah. When people come to you, do they feel like, that's why most of the time I've got a coffee in hand here, is because I want these to feel like you're here with a friend who's just chatting and having a coffee together. And yeah, it's like doing me things like that can make your business feel like home. And I think around this time, for me anyway, around this time, when I set intentions for Cancer things, it's always around the home. Yeah, I always have one that's to do with the physical space as well, like any decorations or any sort of maintenance work that needs nurturing around this time, then, or freshening up the paint. That's usually, I do that in July. And sometimes I'm like, why am I even doing this? Because it's the hottest month usually. Also in Scotland, it can be the rainiest month. So yeah, maybe that's why. But I would always say your home, like, do the stuff around the home that needs done. Focus on that. Set intentions. If you're thinking of moving or you've been thinking about it, then maybe this is the time to actually put that into motion. Maybe it leaves Steve and just start putting it on like put it in your intentions that, yeah, I intend to move home. Remember, a full moon cycle is over 6 months. The full moon in Cancer is going to be in January 2026. So by January 2026, where do you want to be? Do you want to still be living where you are? Do you want to have moved by then? Yeah. And I think that's something to consider if you've been thinking about moving. That could be creating the tension. That could be creating the tension between Saturn and Neptune. You've got the dreams of moving to this new place, but there's a little bit of fear. There's maybe some sentimental or emotional values keeping you at home or keeping you in your current location. There could be things like that going on with regards to moving. In your home, start to think about, like, if there's I know, like, we all have this cupboard here, the junk cupboard. I think I've used that in a video, actually. I need to get in there and get it done. I need to get in there and get it cleaned. And I'll probably do that in July, because I think I done it last July, actually, as well. Because that's getting the house in order. That's getting the home in order. That I don't feel as much resistance to doing that, because the last time I done it, there was stuff belonging to my ex in there, and I just had to get it out. This time there's just all my stuff. The stuff that gathered up, just stuck it in there, I don't know where else to put it. I've also got junk drawers. These sort of things, doing things like that. I think as well, around Cancer time, it's a good thing to romanticize your life. With Neptune being involved in this as well. Yes, it's a square. You start to romanticize things a little bit. It makes things feel a little bit easier. It makes things feel a little bit better. And I think intentions, set the intentions, but actually plan them, do them. Don't just set them. Yeah? It's all good setting intentions, but if they never see the light of day, then there's no point. Yeah? I'm all for manifestation. I'm all for doing it consciously. But if you think you're just going to sit there and everything's going to move round about you and happen without any action, you're missing the trick here. You actually need to do this stuff. So set the intentions that you want to manifest for your home, but then who do you need to become to do that? What are they doing on a daily basis? Make sure you're actually planning and doing the things. And with Saturn there, create structure. Don't just run head first in and do things and try and do the shortcuts. Do it slowly, structured, be cautious about anything, do your due diligence, and that is a good plan for moving forward with this new month, the new moon. So we're going to break it down into the 12 signs. I don't see this being a hell of a long video, but yeah, we'll go on. We'll start off with Aries. So for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, for you, we're in your 4th house, which is Cancer themes. Yeah, home, family, security, your private life, your inner security. For this, is plan things around the home. Like I said in the intro, if you've been thinking about moving, this is a good time. This is a good time to actually start to plan to move. Not the actual move, yeah? Well, you could, but I would say more plan and start to look at different locations. Make sure you're doing it structured. Make sure you are thinking in the bigger picture, and then starting to plan all that. And I think over the next 6 months, we'll see that come together. If there's any wounds that you've got that you feel coming up around this time, especially, like I said, there could be wounds coming up with that square, that tension. There could be some traumas or some things, or family conditioning, or childhood things coming up around this time. Make steps towards healing them. Set that as your intention. I want to start to move this through. Again, for you as well, with it being, it is the physical home, so cozying up your space. If there's any family dynamics, spend time nurturing them, see if you can make them better, see if you can, like, whatever you can do around this time, Aries, to nurture your family. And again, it might not be that biological family that everybody thinks. Like, it could be what you class as family to you. Yeah, and you might even think about that during this time. It's like, what does family actually mean? What does home mean to me around this time? Aries, that is the new moon for you. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, we are moving into your 3rd house. And this is, I would be saying, learning your skills to do with the home. Yeah? Like, if you're not that much of a cook, then learn to cook. If you're not that much of, or you're looking at different ways to do the DIY stuff, like actually learning how to do these things rather than getting somebody else, this would be a good time to set skills like that, to learn skills like that around this time. I think if there's any relationships with siblings or extended family or anything like that, this is a good time to start. Make time for them. Be an active participant for them, Taurus. Be around in your local community as well, if that's the thing for you. Like, be around, be visible, go do more stuff in the community if that's your thing. When it comes to business, for you, Taurus, I would say that you're in a good position here, because the 3rd house is about marketing and stuff like that. And I would say, make your marketing, make people feel like they're at home. Yeah. Your marketing feel at home. Like I said, a simple thing like having a whatever, there's the plan, like, just make it homely. And I could probably do a better job, I'm not gonna lie. But for where we are just now, this is good. The coffee and a plan. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, we are going into your second house. This is about time about nurturing your finances, nurturing the things that bring you value, things that make you feel valued as well. Look after those finances. Maybe do a budgeting around these times. Look at finances that you spend around the home. Look at family expenses at this time. These are good things to be doing around this time. You might want to make a better plan. Like this time, I want to have saved this emergency fund up for X, Y, and Z, for example. This is a good time for you to be having those family dinners, deepening those relationships, yeah? That sort of a thing as well. A lot of people, when it comes to the second house, they always think of the money and the way you earn money, and that's very important. Yeah, you might look at new income streams, you might plan new income streams, you might plan to deepen or nourish an income stream at this time. But think about the self-worth here, because we always look outside for that self-worth, but what about the stuff inside? Because if you can build a stronger self-worth, you don't need these other material possessions to validate you as well. So doing some self-worth, setting some intentions around that, making time for self-love, that sort of a thing. And look at your values. Do your values still align with what they were in January? I know that a lot of the things that, with Mars retrograde and a lot of other things that have gone on in my life since January, that the person I was 6 months ago is a different person than I am today. And that's, you maybe need to relook at your values and say, okay, well, I want to start being this sort of a person. This is where you may want to work on some of your beliefs around this time. So that's for you, Gemini. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, we are in your first house. This is your moon. Yeah? This is your new moon. This is about you, your first impressions, the way the world is magnetized to you, your appearance, your physical body, all that sort of stuff. For you, I say gym and self-care, making sure you're looking after the mindfulness as well. I would say that it's a good time for that. Making time to pamper and nourish yourself. Yeah? Get things that are a little bit more indulgent, yeah? I don't know, like I don't really do this, but the creams and the self-care, the skincare and all that stuff, but get the really indulgent ones, the ones that make you feel a little bit special. And really pamper yourself. Get face masks and all the stuff. Go on a spa weekend. I think if there's any sort of stuff that has made beliefs, behaviors, or any of that sort of stuff with you that's came maybe from childhood, family conditioning, this is a good time to do the inner child work and to look at ways to sort of break away from it so you can develop a stronger sense of you and a sense of self. And you maybe even feel like you want to build like that sense of belonging to something bigger with Jupiter being there. And I think you can ask yourself as well, what role do you play in the family dynamic? I think that might be a thing that would go on around this time for you, around a new moon. And set intentions that help you be in that role. Yeah, if that's the role that you want to play, or that's the role you're comfortable playing, set intentions around that. Leo, we are moving into the 12th house. The house is the in for this new moon for you. This is going to be taking rest, making sure you're taking that RER, that rest and recovery. Does your home make you feel secure and safe enough to do that? To switch off? To not be on all the time, Leo? Does your home let you do that? Do you feel comfortable in your home? Do you feel safe at home to just let your guard down? If there's family dynamics there, you might see that you need to work on that during this time, Leo. I think as well, with the 12th house, it's about spirituality. Yeah? What spiritual paths do you follow? You might find around this time you want to explore new avenues with your family, or maybe even just alone, with it being in the 12th house. It's all about solitude as well. I think as well, you might see old patterns maybe coming up around this time that you maybe want to set intentions. Like I said, for the first house, for Cancer, around this time, Leo, you might want to look at things that maybe happened in your childhood that have maybe reshaped your behaviors, your beliefs, your limiting beliefs. Maybe look at starting to move forward. Look at ways you self-sabotage, Leo, and start to just tweak them. Start to work towards beating the sabotage. And also around this time, it would be if you've been like, oh, I really want to do more giving to the community or doing more giving to charity. This is a good time for that. Especially with Leo being in your 12th house. Not Leo. This is Leo. Especially with Jupiter being in your 12th house. goodwill and that sort of stuff is going to be really up Jupiter in the 12th house in Cancer street. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, we're moving into your 11th house. For you, this is all about your friends, your community, your social networks, your networking pursuits, your goals and your aspirations. And this is about deepening your relationships, nurturing those relationships. I think with any of the houses where there's people involved, there's been an active participant in that relationship. If you're just being the one that sort of coasts along and doesn't really make the effort, doesn't text people, doesn't phone people, doesn't stay in contact, then maybe it's just time to let that relationship go. Yeah? Maybe it's now time to cultivate people that you do actively want to communicate with, that you do actively want in your round in your energy, that you are an active participant in this friendship. Yeah? And it's the same with your, I would say with this is making community, making your friends, making them all feel like family. It's about that sense of belonging here. But if you're not an active participant, you'll not feel like you belong, because if you're not actively participating in that group or in that friendship group, then you're going to miss things. You're not going to feel like you belong there because you'll miss bits and you'll go to things and then you'll be like, oh, I never even knew about that. And then you're learning about it and then it's like second. You want to be that active participant. And if you're not, then you may not feel that sense of belonging that you could really feel around this time. I would also say, I kind of said this, but yeah, make your community feel like family. Around this time as well, like set intentions for them goals, them aspirations. If you're thinking of moving, then you maybe want to start to plan that around this time, if that's your big aspiration. These kind of goals and aspirations, it's not the surface level stuff that you're going to do in like a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. This is like the big goals. You want to look at, does your current home family situation align with where you want to go? With what you want that life to look like in the next 12 months plus. We'll say 6 months, so we're at the full moon. But yeah, that's the big goal. Does where you are at just now align with where you want to go? Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising for you, we're going into your 10th house, and this is your personal brand. The way the world sees you, your public recognition, your visibility, your career, that sort of a thing. Like I said, it is your personal brand as well. So it's a time for this time is to nurture that personal brand. What in this world do you want to be known for? Yeah. And if you are retired, it could be about building legacy. It might be about your passion projects. It might be different, but it's like, what are you wanting to be known for? What is the legacy you want to leave to the next generation? That sort of a thing. And I think nurturing that personal brand, making sure that you are visible. And I think visibility, especially for Libra, with Jupiter going through your 10th house, is going to be that thing. Yeah, Jupiter's moving through there is going to make you more visible. And even if you're retired, you might find yourself being more like at the bowling or the golf club, or I don't know, whatever you do as a hobby, but you might start to become more visible there. And you'll start to, like, maybe instead of just being a member, you'll start to take an active maybe role in like moving up through the member stakes or something like that, even if you're retired. Yeah, things like that can happen. But nurture that personal brand, because that's going to help you when you are visible. Like, what do people see you as? Yeah, and that could be just like, oh well, I'm going to start maybe cultivating how I share myself online. I'm going to tell more personal stories, like that sort of a thing, or I'm going to share more what I'm doing. I think documenting your life around this thing could be a good thing. Online, again, we want to give them a little bit. We don't want to give them too much. Yeah, we just want to give people enough that they can create that emotional connection with us. I think for you as well, Libra, it's about how can you be more passionate? Yeah, compassionate, sorry. How can you be more compassionate in your leadership? Yeah, whether that be like in your family leadership, whether that be your business, your your social media following, whatever it is, whatever way you lead people, Libra. It could even be in a friends group. But how are you doing that? Are you nurturing that? Are you around this time? It's about nurturing, feeding all that stuff, really being the mother of the group, if you like, Libra. So lead with compassion here during this time. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising, we're moving into your 9th house. The 9th house is all about your perspective, your worldview, your spiritual beliefs, your beliefs in general, yeah? Maybe not so much limiting beliefs. These are the beliefs that sort of shape you, and like you grow and you expand with these beliefs. And I think you'll maybe around this time want to set intentions that let you learn what home means to you. Let you see what the values that you have and the beliefs that are shaping your experience at home. You maybe need to learn some new skills, but I don't think it'll be like the 3rd house learning skills like to do the actual DIY or anything like that. I think it'll be more philosophical skills, like and more the bigger picture sort of things here. I think for you, it is to document your life more. Like the 9th house is all about publishing as well. And obviously my niche, if you like, is sort of like astrology for business. So with that, I would say as well, document your life more is a good thing for your personal brand. If you're a content creator or if you're a coach, letting people in behind the scenes, that sort of a thing. You might actually find yourself traveling with family. Like we said, around this time is the summer solstice. A lot of people go on their summer holidays around this time, or their summer vacation. Then around this time for you, I would say if you've not planned it, yeah, you're leaving it later, but maybe plan like a October break or something like that. Another thing that might come up here is, how does your religion and your religious beliefs and your faith, how do they all come together at home? How can you bring them and make your home feel more like your faith and your religious beliefs, to everything all align there? It might be a time around this time to start working on that and start looking at ways that you can bring your religious beliefs and your faith and your spiritual beliefs and all that into the house and make it a family event. That sort of a thing. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, we're moving into your 8th house, which is another one of them hidden houses. Yeah, it's the sort of stuff you share with other people, but also includes stuff like intimacy, trauma, fears, debts, taxes, the darker topics. The biggest thing with this house is transformation. Yeah. Where you get your power from comes from here, where that power is. Are you gripping to other things to try and maintain control instead of leaning into your own personal power? If you are, then that could crop up. Like, I don't think it'll crop up around the new moon. I think what you need to be doing around this time is maybe looking at the trust issues that you've maybe got with family, and maybe address those. Maybe like say, right, in the next 6 months, I want to really work on this relationship with my daughter, or with my mum, or with my dad, or with whoever it is, yeah? Whoever it is. You might want to just start to heal them trust issues around this time. You might also, around this time, Sagittarius, you might see new investments. You might hear about new stocks. Inheritance could be a thing. You're not really going to plan an inheritance, but you might plan an investment. Like, you might go into a joint venture or something. You could maybe plan something like that, or put that as an intention. You're not really going to set an intention, I'm going to inherit money, because that would, well, we know how that goes, yeah. The investments could be a thing. I think deepening them relationships. Yeah, I did mention that the 8th house is to do with intimacy. So look at them relationships where there is that intimacy. Yeah. Can you deepen them? Are you nurturing them? Are you an active participant? Or are you sitting there taking everything that's going and not being that active participant? Around this time, what intentions can you set to be the active participant there, Sagittarius? Again, if there's any power or control stuff going on with relationships, now is a good time to deal with that as well. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, we're moving into your 7th house. It's kind of like Sagittarius. This is more level 1 relationship, before you get to that intimacy sort of type of relationship. But this is like any one-to-one relationship really fits in here. Could be with clients, love, business, romance, whatever. They all come in here, the close relationships. And I think for you, deepening those relationships, what can you do to make them deeper? Like having your closer family around for like dinner dates and stuff like that around this time, I would say is a good thing for you to be planning. Again, maybe if you're single, you might be starting to like mingle around this time. It's a good time. Make plans to bring that one-to-one relationship. If you've got a business, that might be at times to maybe nurture more of your existing clients instead of looking at acquisition. Yeah, making them feel more at home in your business. That would be a good thing to do around this time as well. I think that is one thing. Like a lot of businesses, they like to focus on the acquisition rather than the retention, whereas it's much easier to retain a client than it is to find a brand new one. Yeah, so I would say that this is a good time to like look at your retention. How are you holding on to your clients? How are you, like, can you do more? Can you give more value to them? Like, do they feel at home with you? Making your business feel like home, that sort of a thing. I would say that's a good thing. And it's maybe like around this time as well, you might want to set wee routines, like maybe have a wee date night every single week or every month. This is date night, we're going to do something. Whereas maybe monthly, you maybe do something a little bit more than you would normally have. Again, you could do something like this for clients where you maybe, once they've been with the brand for a little while, you maybe take them for a coffee or you have like a VIP experience or something. I know a lot of coaches do that. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we're moving into your 6th house, and this is all about your work, your routines, your habits, the house of the day-to-day, really. But your pets, your health come under here as well. So you might look at new routines, new habits around this time that help you. You might look at whether your day-to-day stuff is aligned with your bigger goals around this time. I think around this time as well, if you've not got a pet, you might find yourself like thinking about getting a pet or looking at what kind of an animal or just doing the research a bit might come in around this time. Or it might actually, you might actually say, right, by the next 6 months in January, that's going to be a good time. It's a new year. We're going to start bringing new pet into the home. Yeah, that would be a good time to do that as well. I think as well around this time is maybe looking at ways and looking at systems that you can bring into place that get your life back. If you find yourself being stuck in work all the time, Aquarius, then this is maybe time to look at days, right? Okay, this is work time, but now this is my time. This is time for the family. This is time for the love. This is time for all that stuff. And being more structured and bringing more discipline like to your life, your everyday life. But it's when you start to split it up like that and you make sure that you've got bits for everything during the day, where you've got bits to be with the ones you love. You've got bits to be with the family, your friends and all that. And then you've also got time for the business and your health. That's the ideal day, really, in that way, because you've got the ways that bring you money, you've got looking after yourself, and you've got the people that matter the most to you. You might start to look at things around that this time. You may also get that vibe that you want to start working from home. Aquarius, you might get that around this time as well. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we're moving into your 5th house, the nice house, the fun house. This is all about your creativity, your passions, where you find joy, where you find pleasure. So your dating, romance does come in here as well. It's more, I would say, the more self-expression side of romance. But yeah, dating as well. Around this time, if you're single, go out and mingle, yeah? Set intentions that if you maybe been doing the inner work and you're not being ready to go out and meet people, then this would be a good time for you, Pisces, to set those intentions that, right, this is the time that in the next 6 months, I want to actively try and meet a new partner. Or I want to start dating at least, yeah? So go all in and dating around this time if you're single. If you're in a relationship, it might just be like more the physical aspects of that relationship that you work on around this time to make it more exciting and more a true, authentic expression of you. Yeah? Use your imagination here, Pisces. Around this time as well, you might find yourself starting new creative projects. You might start to really decorate your home with your creative projects around this time. That might be a thing. You might think, oh, I really want to get a new picture for the lounge, and this is like what I want to do. This is where I want to get it. Or I wanted to at least start to create this, or I want it to look like this. You may start planning that, and you may start bringing your own creativity letting that inner child run wild, and yeah, new artwork or something like that around this time. I think as well, the fifth house is to do with kids. This might be spending more time with kids, or how can you deepen that relationship? How can you be the parent that you want? How can you be the parent that you want around this time? And making sure that your kids are like nourished and nurtured. Cancer's all about that. They're the mother. Yeah, they're the mother. And the last thing I think for you is like look at new ways to express yourself. Yeah, maybe think about entrepreneurship, maybe think about creative businesses, maybe think around that line. But it could also be ways like in your art, your music, that sort of stuff. You might find new instruments to play around this time. Just look for new ways to express yourself creatively, I would say, around this time. Or like if you are in that business. I think I said this in, I think it was the Jupiter video. I think for fifth house with Jupiter going through your fifth house, creative entrepreneurship is going to be on the rise for you, Pisces, I think. So doing that around this time could be a good thing to start to learn about that